Hello, my name is Alex, and I did my presentation on medical patents. This is for HHP 210. What are medical patents? A patent is a title of ownership for intellectual property that prevents anyone from replicating an invention for a set period of time. Medical patents are basically just anything that relates to pharmaceutical or biological items or medical devices. They prevent any generic version of a drug to be produced. Let's do a quick overview of current medical patent law. Medical patents were intended to only last for 20 years, but they can be extended while they wait for FDA approval. There can also be multiple patents on one drug, and this is where biotech companies really abuse the system. Since they can spread individual patents for different sections of their drug over time, a drug or a device has an average of 38 years of protection from any generic to be produced. Patents drive up prices. Because manufacturers can set their prices for their patented drugs, they can prevent people from affording or accessing certain medicines, as insurers can also deny coverage of these expensive drugs. Generic drugs are chemically equivalent and cheaper versions of the drugs, just without the brand name. If a drug is patented, generics cannot be made. Generics provide competition to big pharmaceutical companies. This graph is showing price ratios of brand name to generics. If there are 6 or more generics being produced, the price is 95% lower. I wanted to show some examples of high-priced patented medicines. Let's start with an insulin, Lantus, which is a life-saving medicine for insulin-dependent diabetics that has no generic equivalent, and diabetics will likely not see a generic form of it for around 37 years. Diabetics pay a lot for insulin and other supplies, $450 a month on average. Just compare that to a car payment, even though it only costs manufacturers around a cup of coffee to make. The interesting part is that an insulin discoverer, Sir Frederick Bantam, sold the patent for $1 in good faith that manufacturers would distribute it for cheap. Now let's talk about Zolgensma, which is a one-time therapy that cures spinal muscle atrophy in toddlers. It's the most expensive drug at $2.1 million for one dosage. It makes me wonder what's the point of even having this drug. It would be extremely difficult for someone to get this life-saving drug, even with tippity-top tier insurance. When asked about its price, the company has responded with this quote: "It dramatically transforms the life of families affected by this devastating disease," which is a weird justification of its price. It's basically admitting to price gouging. Should we get rid of patents? There's no doubt that generics lower prices, and that lower prices mean better access, and lower costs for individuals with and without the need for patented medicines. Why aren't we doing this? Well, pharmaceutical companies want you to believe that it lowers innovation and discovery of new medicine. Is it true? Do patents actually help drive innovation? A drug manufacturer at Johnson & Johnson has stated, "We have an obligation to ensure that the sale of our medicine provides us with the resources necessary to invest in future research and development." End quote. But these companies don't always put the money towards research and development. Of the largest 10 pharmaceutical companies, only one spends more on research than on marketing. So you're buying the brand name, not the research. Johnson & Johnson produces Zytiga, a prostate cancer medicine. Patients were paying $10,000 or more a month for this medicine. Now there's a generic that can be found for around $250 a month. Despite this, Johnson & Johnson pharma sales were up and still profited billions of dollars. The current approach: there's really no way around these patents. other than biosimilar drugs. These are drugs that are built with biological pieces instead of synthetic ones. Biological pieces are harder to patent, so this is one way that other companies can compete against patented medicines. But it's only a loophole, not a fix. Some final thoughts. Life-saving medications have gone up in price way too much. Pharmaceutical and biotech companies are abusing the system and making record profits. Even if the patent system encourages some innovation, it's still driving up prices to the point where people must skip or skimp on medications. These high prices are not only affecting those who need the medicine, but all of us, as it translates to more tax money being spent and allows pharmaceutical companies to rake in trillions, as well as increasing insurance prices for everybody. Are patents just the cherry on top for these companies? Maybe we need to have stricter laws and shorter patent times. I can't be the only one who thinks that 38 years is a little too long to have total control of a life-saving drug. I also believe that capitalism requires competition, and that more companies working on the same medications could offer more opportunities for innovation. Thank you.